Hello to you all, and today we'll be going over how to flash the Banana Pi M40. Now the Banana Pi M40 is similar to, let's say, a Raspberry Pi Zero or a Raspberry Pi Zero 2W. I mean, these are two, both of them are W's. Now the Raspberry Pi Zero and the Raspberry Pi Zero 2W are both capable of Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. And the M40 is also capable of Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, but the M40 has two USB-C ports as opposed to the Raspberry Pi's two micro USB ports. Now they all have the same mini HDMI. The M40 is capable of 4K 60 FPS with HDR. They all have micro SD slots. And the M40 has 8 GB of built-in eMMC. They all have the same compatible 40-pin GPIO headers. I mean, well, the pins are the same, so you can literally exchange hats. The Banana Pi M40 has a 24-pin FPC connector with both, for bonus I/O if you'd like. And honest to God, the M40 is about maybe 1.5 times more powerful than a Raspberry Pi Zero. This has a single core 1 GHz ARM11 processor. This one has a quad core 1 GHz Cortex 853 processor, and the M40 has a quad core processor up to 1.5 GHz. These have about a half a gig of RAM, and this has about 2 GB of LPDDR4 memory. So, I mean, it's on paper much faster. Now, these two are capable of 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. This one is compatible with Wi-Fi 5 and 2.4, as well as Bluetooth 4.2. Now, we've gone over the Banana Pi M40 in one of our shorts. We've also compared it to these two, so we're not going to spend so much time kind of comparing them again, as that would be counterintuitive. And today we are going to focus on how to flash this guy. Now, to flash Banana Pi M40, you're going to need a couple things. One, you're going to need to go to the Armbian website and find the Banana Pi M40 section. And then you're going to choose between the minimal IoT or the server CLI images. For example, Ubuntu, the Noble Minimal IoT, or the Debian Bookworm IoT, and you're going to download your desired image. And after you download your desired image, you want to download the .xz file, and that way you have a way to verify the integrity of the image. You want to prepare your SD card, which I would say use a reputable Class 10 or an A1 rated SD card. I'll show you guys the SD card that I have that I'm going to be flashing with this little guy. And you want to insert your prepared SD card into the M40 and then power it up through USB-C. And the first boot might take about 2 minutes. So we're going to head over to armbian.com-banana-pi-m4-0 /. So armbian.com/banana-pi-m4-0 /, and you'll see your M4 right here, as well as which images that you'd like to download. You have the Noble Gnome desktop image, and you have the Bookworm minimal image. So in this case, we're going to use the minimal IoT. Just press direct download. It'll download. After you download, you go to Imager or Balena Etcher or whatever you want. As long as it'll flash it properly, it'll write to it, and then it'll verify. After it's finished verifying, you will we'll kind of plug it into the M4 and then boot it up. So yeah, I should probably be using a capture card, but you guys will, have to excuse me for being so rudimentary. So we've got our micro SD slot figured out. We can plug in the flashed image to our M4, and then we're going to have to plug in power and a mini HDMI, and yeah, we'll be ready. So we've plugged in our mini HDMI adapter as well as power, and you'll see this guy pretty much booting up rather efficiently. So it's going to take a second. And we're going to have to create a root password. So give me 1 second. We've plugged in our micro SD slot in there, our micro SD card in there. We use an attachment because we cannot fit two things together. So what we're going to do now is give this guy power. Power, goddammit. There we go, power, yeah, power. And we're going to give it a second, it'll boot up. 1 second. And we're going to switch it to boot the right way. And there we go. Now after it's finished booting up, it's going to prompt us to set a password, which is what we're about to do shortly. Now you can attach an external keyboard. In this case we can attach an external keyboard and mouse, but I'm going to be using this wireless mouse, which is why I have my broken USB dongle right there, which should work. So we're going to say create root password and we're going to name it banana. Banana. Repeat. B-A-N-A-N-A. Banana. Please provide a username. Alright, we're going to name it ValleyTech. There we go. ValleyTech. Create user ValleyTech password. Alright, well, we're going to make that banana as well. Banana. There we go. Banana. Provide your real name. Why? Alright, well. A-L-A-R-Q-A-W-I. Alarkawi. Dear Alarkawi, your account ValleyTech has been created and sudo is enabled. Please use this account for your daily work from now on. Internet connection was not detected. Connect via wireless. Yes. Press Y. And we're gonna type 3. Oop, gotta stop this for right now. I want to go to sudo armbian-install and then boot from EMC, and it'll take about 3 minutes to finish. So just wait for it to finish. It's literally installing to the built-in memory. Afterwards, it'll give you the option to say all done and power off. So let's press all done and power off. And there we go. So now it's turned off. Let's turn them back on. You want to hit right there. There we go. That's not working. Alright, we're going to unplug and replug. Holy crap, this is hard to do with one hand. Also, if you're having network issues with your M4, just plug in a antenna to the UFL connector and you should be good. You'll be back in business. So there we go. We got our little antenna right here. We'll get a case together for this, but for right now, we're just going to boot it up. Alright, it's giving us our login, so we're gonna log in ValleyTech, and then we made the password banana, and we hit enter. There we go. So we're definitely booted off the eMFC, the onboard storage, and we are into the terminal. So from there we can hit Armbian config, Armbian upgrade. So let's Let's go sudo apt update, and then and which is right there, and sudo apt upgrade, and we're going to hit enter, and our password is banana. Also, in the future I'll be getting a capture card for all this, but for right now, just bear with me. I'm doing all this from a Diddy cam. Alright. Do you want to do this? Yes. Yes, I do want to do this. From here, you type in sudo armbian config. You can switch to a ZSH shell, enable SSH security, configure networking, install popular software, and the software list is actually pretty dope. And from here, you have everything from like basic Armbian backup containers, DNS, database, dev tools, bootloaders, downloaders, finance, home automation, media management, monitoring, net config, printing, VPN, web hosting. Like, you have pretty much everything that you possibly need. And Armbian makes it incredibly simple. But that's all we got. That's how easy it is to set this guy up. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. We'll be going over more setup videos for more devices like this in the future, so be sure to stick around.